I remember the riots in the streets when I was about 11 years old.
Yeah, I
Back
do
then,
the
the civil
participants
rights.
window. So it pulls up on the side, so down at the bottom where it says participants.
I haven't seen anything like it till now.
Mm-mm.
Well, except for in San Francisco when that Rodney guy got killed. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, so I'll leave it up to you if you want to let them.
Yeah, I'll let's see, where do I go? I can make participants.
Yes, if you click it, it'll bring up on the right there. There you go.
Yeah, and then I can just assign.
Yep.
Make a co-host. Yep.
According to my email, Clark and Amy and George will not be joining us.
Well, we still have quorum.
Yeah, we still have.
Everyone know how to unmute? Okay. I'm making everybody co-hosts on here. I don't think we're gonna have much don't think we're gonna have much participation from the public because this is a pretty uneventful meeting, at least I think, the agenda, but you never know.
Why does it show Larry's name like that?
I don't know.
I'm guessing.
Larry, did you dial in on phone as well? No?
No, I did not.
Okay.
My phone has the agenda on it, so for the packet.
Okay. All right.
So that's what I'm using it for.
Gotcha. Whose iPad?
I think that might be Rosalie. She was having trouble.
Rosalie? Okay. Rosalie, is that you on the iPad? I'll wait. I'll wait.
I found it on mute. This is Rosalie.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was you because all it says is iPad. So I'm going to rename you.
Okay. Sorry, you guys.
No, that's all right. There we go.
Did you hear me when I was explaining why I'm all goofy? Well, there's a lot of reasons I'm goofy, but that thunder that hit the other night, that was at our house.
It struck the home. Oh.
Well, not quite. It struck the ground. I was in the kitchen. I felt it. And then it smoked our modem. It smoked a whole bunch of stuff at the house. So I can't get Xfinity till tomorrow. So Walt put together a hotspot for me, and I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Okay.
But yay.
Well, glad to have you here.
Okay. I can't see everybody else. I'll put myself on mute.
Okay.
So who'd you say
Did-
when you're
Rosalie, did you feel a little tingle in your toes?
In my hands, I did. I
Yeah.
really did. Because I was in the kitchen and it was right between me and Hamlin's house. And I saw the flash, I heard the boom, and my hands. Yeah, that was weird. And then everything just smoked. So we have not had a fun couple of days.
Close enough.
So we're waiting on Todd.
Todd Heinrich and Janice Barney. Oh, see Janice up there anyway.
Oh my gosh.
So looking at the minutes from last month, Janice isn't listed, and it says absent none. We need one more.
We need
7
one more.
Noted, so she needs to be added to the present.
Okay.
Tom, your kindness.
As long as we get Todd Heinrich or Janice, we can go, right?
Yes. I don't know. Yeah, one of them,
That's
Tom.
5.
Right, and that's 5 out of 9, so that'd be your quorum.
Yeah. If they don't log in, we're done.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Tom, your kindness, can you identify yourself for which agenda item? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Hey, are you logging in? Okay. Todd says it's showing waiting for the administrator to let in.
Really?
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that.
No, everyone else got in easy.
No, wait.
Should just let you right in, Todd. Try to.
I didn't get an easy. This is
I had
Rosie.
the same issue. I had to shut down and try the link again.
Okay.
And then I had to put in the ID and the passcode to get in.
Did you? Okay.
I've never
There.
done that before either.
Yeah. I'll tweak it and see if we can get it more smooth next month.
It'll be fine.
This is our dry run. We're on an easy agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, work iPhone. That maybe that's. Maybe
Yeah, both of ours are off an iPhone, so if that matters.
Todd, is that you on the iPhone? You'll have to unmute yourself. Can't remember.
I don't have Janice's number. I don't think.
I do.
Oh, I might.
He got a. Yeah, I'm just wondering if Janice is Tom. That Tom.
I'm gonna find out. What? Why did it cut out? Hi, Janice. Tim Stegman. Are you gonna be? If you go to the website and put in the what was it, the meeting ID and two things you gotta plug in. It should
The passcode.
the password.
Yeah. Tell her the,
The link didn't connect for you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that should work. Yep. Oh, well, we can't start unless you or Todd are successful, so, yeah. Yep. Okay, thanks. Bye. I will call Todd again.
okay.
When do you think we can meet in person again? Never?
Next month.
Hopefully.
Really?
We hope.
Good.
Did you get in? No, not yet. Go to, just log into Zoom. Don't use the,
Yeah, just
the
go to
link
Zoom.
that in the email. Just go to Zoom itself. And
Just
put
say
in the meeting ID and
Join
the
meeting,
password, and join meeting. It should drop you right in. Okay, bye.
At first, I just figured I was kicked off the planning commission after last month. I'll make a formal apology to y'all too.
For what?
Well,
We can meet in person as long as it's at the gym.
or Harbor Lights, they're doing Beatlemania. I'm going there afterwards. No, I have to apologize for saying something stupid. I do that often. Todd did text me saying, "Are you in the meeting? I'm still waiting for the organizer to let me in." So he had the same problem I did. The link didn't work. You got to physically do it.
I don't know what's, Phil? Maybe he took off already.
Enable waiting room?
No, what a waiting room does is it sets people in, so they have to wait to get in, which
Yeah.
is what it sounds like he's in.
Right, that's what I'm,
Right.
But
It never let us in. I was in there too.
Again, I think if he completely logs everything out and tries the link again, he'll get in. I made it on my second attempt.
Let me text him that.
But
yeah,
if he doesn't log off, that's still in the cache. So it's
All
still,
right. All right. I'm
I've
going to
had
tell him.
that with
to
other
log off.
Zoom meetings.
really,
Yeah,
it's a glitch.
yeah.
Well, probably the whole world is doing Zoom meetings between school and business now.
Oh yeah,
so
their stock's worth
my
of
second of the
fortune.
days.
400% it's up.
Yeah,
Nice.
they've made
Of
the
course, I
kill.
don't have any. Zoom. Put in ID number. And passcode.
Yeah, you should just be able to type in here, click join a meeting, type in the meeting ID number. Which
Right,
is-
that's what I told
which is in the email or on the agenda.
him. And I've got it written down here if,
Yeah. And then if it asks you for the passcode, just type it in.
he's coming back to me here. I could always send Walt over to his house. Trying email Marshall does not have the ID. Okay, I'm going to tell him what the ID is. ID is, I've got it here, 92089. 5, 9, 4, 2, 4, 7.
Oh, there's
All right, we
All
got
right.
Janice. All right, Janice, you just have to unmute yourself and turn your camera on.
I think Todd will be coming in because he's asking for all the numbers. Oh, 1.
Notice of public meeting on the first. two
I know.
Agenda.
I always get so
There
like,
she is.
yeah, okay.
Welcome, Janice.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Are you situated, Janice?
Yes, I'm as good, this is as good as it gets right now.
Okay.
All right, that's Walt, sorry.
All right, now we can get started.
We got a
since-
quorum.
Since Janice is here now. So at 7:13, I'll call the Thursday, September 3rd, 2020 Planning Commission to order. And roll call, if you would, Marcia.
Clark Gruber, Larry Heinig,
Here?
Todd Heinrich, Michael Neese,
Here.
Amy Nichols, Rosalie Placati,
Here,
Here. And I see Todd is showing up. We'll wait for his video before we proceed any further.
Yep.
And while we're waiting for that, just a reminder, if you are watching at home and wish to comment, the number is 63707.
0777.
777 6370777.
There he is. All right,
Unmute so we can see if your
turn your microphone
audio
on
is
there.
working, Todd.
There we go.
Test
Yep.
1, 2.
Okay, very good. Next up, we'll do the approval of the agenda.
this is Rosalie. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for September 3rd, 2020.
And Mike seconds.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agenda. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call.
Barney,
Yes,
Heinig,
Yes.
Heinrich,
Yes.
Neese,
Yes.
Placati,
Yes,
Stegman.
Yes. Next up, we'll have the approval of the meeting minutes for August 6, 2020.
Heinig moves to approve the minutes of July 9, 2020.
August 6th.
August 6th.
I'm sorry, August 6th.
I support.
Who has supported any other discussion? I'll just point out one item during the roll call. Janice was present. She wasn't listed. So I think that's the only other thing. All right. So it's been moved and supported. No further discussion. We'll do a roll call for the approval of the meeting minutes.
Barney, Barney,
Janice?
Yes,
Heinig,
Yes.
Heinrich,
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Placati,
Yes,
Stegman.
Yes. Next up, we'll move to interested citizens in the audience will be heard on items not on the agenda. If there's anyone listening in this evening and you want to talk about planning commission items that aren't on this agenda this evening, now's the time to call in. I'm gonna set my timer for 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes have elapsed for citizens in the audience, and we haven't heard from any, so we'll move on to our agenda items. First item's item 6, text amendment to section 1725, the swimming pools. Brad, if you want to give us a little rundown.
Yes, staff is proposing a text amendment to section 1725, specifically subsection 2, part F, in an attempt to bring the South Haven zoning ordinance into compliance with the state law. Swimming pools are regulated in Michigan by the building code, and the most recent edition of the building code is from 2015. It observes standards that are adopted in 2012 by the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code. The most recent addition to this code recognizes powered safety covers to meet that have to meet a certain regulation for weight and other requirements, can be used in place of a fence to meet barrier requirements in the state of Michigan. This has been in effect now for a few years, and the last time the South Haven swimming ordinance was updated was in 1993, which requires a minimum of 4-foot fence surrounding the swimming pool or the backyard with a lockable gate. This is presently the way it is. However, it has been asked many times by many people if we are would like to choose either or, because that's what state law is. So I placed, if you can see in the packet, in part F, I did create some text amendments to address power safety covers as a barrier item. However, the reason I'm bringing it in front of the Planning Commission today also is it is allowable or optional for a city, a local zoning ordinance, to continue to allow an additional barrier such as a fence to surround a swimming pool. You do not have to get rid of that if you so choose. So I thought this would be a good time to discuss amongst the Planning Commission this situation before we update the code altogether, or update the amendment altogether for the zoning ordinance.
Any questions?
I have one.
Mhm.
So just a quick question. I think I know what this looks like and what it means as far as powered, but it's not a hard surface, right? It is still some kind of a canvas or plastic, correct?
It is, it's a powered hardcover that does go over top. I have not seen one personally myself. Apparently it has to meet a certain regulation for weight. It has to have a minimum of 575 pounds of pressure to be able to stand on top of it. That's one of the minimum regulations that I do know that is in the code, the ATSM code. I can get you more detailed information if you wish, Rosalie, to look at that, but that is one of the general items. What is the concern was with the building inspection team and others was the way the power safety covers work is the operator has to physically engage them. So if the operator leaves the pool and the pool is open to the public to stray into the yard, if they're not paying attention to what's going on, there is still a potential that someone could fall into the pool, even though you do have a cover.
Yeah, I get it. And shame on me for not, I guess, exploring that more, what they look like and what they hold. It's nice to know that they can hold 500, but I agree that, it doesn't guarantee that it will automatically cover when everybody's out. So I hear what you're saying. And I think what I hear is that we can still require a fence with a lock.
Correct. Local ordinances still can place an extra requirement on top.
Well, since I'm the safety patrol girl lately, I think that's what I would consider.
Mike?
Yeah, I'd go along with Rosalie on that, especially my concern is I wonder how many of these are second homes that are likely to be unoccupied much more than full-time residential homes. So I like the idea of having a physical barrier as a redundancy on this, let alone to account for mechanical failures. I wondered too, I ask around, but how insurers look at this as compared to having a physical barrier.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anybody else? So my question would be for section F, part 2, or number 2, is there a reason to retain the language where it says in place of a fence or similar structure, or should that be struck? Should it just read a powered safety cover may be installed, but the powered safety cover must comply with the ASTM? Is that more appropriate? Because I'm worried if you want to keep fences as a dual part, if you say in place of, that negates that.
Correct.
So other than that, unless you have some additional comments, let's get a motion going and suggest striking in place of a fence or similar structure. Janice?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can hear me. All right, I was just wondering if there was any data on fatalities, increased fatalities in swimming pools as a result of having no fence in that. Although that might be a moot point at this point because we've already sort of are going with the fence and people can also have the cover. But Brad, I don't know if you had.
I do not have the data from that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, well, I guess I'll try to make a motion. This is Rosalie. Let's see, what is the text number? Okay, so amended. I'll make a motion to amend, where'd it go? I'm reading it on my iPhone, so I apologize. Article, oh my goodness, section 1725 to read or to add number.
Hang on, Rosalie. I think
Okay.
it's not an amendment. Are you trying to do what I recommended?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what you want to do is approve the, do we have an ordinance number on this or is it blank?
We had this ordinance number is, well, the new ordinance number is, it's blank. Yes.
Yeah.
It's for section 1725, but
Okay, so what you want to do is make a motion to approve the language as written with the exception of striking F2 in place of a fence or similar structure.
Exactly. Is that okay for you, Marcia? That I make that motion that Tim just said? Or you want me to repeat it?
No, she's got it.
All right.
All right, thank you. Is there support
Heinig supports.
or Larry? All right, any other discussion? All in favor, we'll do a roll call. Rosalie?
Yes, I didn't hear that. Yes.
Barney,
Janice?
Yes.
Heinig,
Yes.
Heinrich,
Yes.
East,
Yes.
Stegman.
Yes. All right, we'll move on to agenda item 7. Oh, and don't forget to remind me to ask for public comment. I forgot to that time.
I do have
It's
someone that sent me an email
okay.
saying I'm having trouble logging in. So I just emailed her back. So we'll see if she.
It's easier when you sit at the front and you see people sitting in the audience to remember.
It'd be much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone has comments from the public for agenda item 7, call in now, 637-0777. So we're on agenda item 7 and we're gonna talk about the RC master plan compliance update.
Yes, as you all remember, back in July, I brought to you the first section of the RRC program's preliminary review through the MEDC, and we had some comments of basically outlining who is going to accomplish and when the accomplishment will take place, the certain goals and objectives that were outlined in the master plan. I have gone through now and completed sections 2 through 5 as well, and those are attached in your planning commission or your agenda packet. And several of them, again, are addressed to the planning commission again themselves. I think many of these are good to just place in as will be reviewed before next master plan update, unless other people, unless any other of you commissioners feel that this is something that needs to be done more urgently. I don't know if you've taken a chance to go through each of these goals and actions individually. But several of these also will be handled by members of the city, such as the Department of Public Works, City Management, the Downtown Development Authority, etc.
This is Mike. I did have a question, Brad, if I might.
Yes.
I did read through them all, and this is just for educating me and maybe anybody that read it is having the same issue. But when I see DDA's involvement, that's only if it falls within the DDA district, correct?
Correct.
If I read anything about affordable housing, whatever, they're not having any input on what happens in the neighborhoods.
That's correct. Yes. That's why there's, I placed in that particular one, other city staff that's addressing that, because yes, the DDA, and that's the next item on the agenda is actually, we're talking about that. And we just spoke about that last month. That was another RRC item, was residential in the downtown area.
Right.
And that would be addressed, yes, particularly inside their boundaries. They have no, say outside of the boundaries of the DDA.
That was also confusing to me in the industrial development portion.
Yeah.
I didn't see any industrial area within the DDA district, so that was kind of a flag to me.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I may have typed that in there by accident.
Thanks.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
additional comment?
sure.
Yeah, this was I'm new to this, so I went to the MEDC and website and read about that and what the RRC redevelopment ready communities were, and read about that. As I went through it, particularly the residential sections, there's no mention in. I really support everything that's been drafted here. But there is no mention of what I can still consider to be South Haven's biggest challenges, and that is trying to lessen the negative impact of short-term rentals in our neighborhoods. I mean, when you go through these goals, it's almost all of them. There's that hurdle that we need to get over to get to these goals. I mean, we're 20 years ago, all the people that ran the businesses and all the nurses and doctors and dentists and everything all lived in the neighborhoods that are now dominated by short-term rentals. And I think to just leave it, I mean, there's no mention of it in any of this. I think that it's the elephant in the document, to mix metaphors. But it's I think it's something that we always need to address. And I know people are weary of it, but it's there. I can't look at these residential goals without saying, well, before we get to that, that's the second hurdle. That's it, that goal. We have to figure out a way to reduce the negative economic and social impacts of short-term rentals in our neighborhoods. I mean, when I look at other communities up and down the coast that have the little yellow star on them that have already achieved RRC status, these are communities that don't have that hurdle. And generally, Grand Haven has it. They have very little short-term rentals. Traverse City has it. Again, I think they've got a 1 month minimum on short-term rentals. But I'd like to see some mention of it in residential goals to achieve these. And so that's my comment.
Okay, Mike?
I had many of the same concerns, obviously, but well, I shouldn't say obviously, but it wouldn't surprise you. But I kind of assumed that any time it talked about Planning Commission will review, that we will have opportunities to discuss it at that point as well, Todd. I mean, if I see a failure, I see a failure that the master plan hasn't addressed short-term vacation rentals. But if we're meeting the goals that are set out in the master plan, I agree with you, Todd. The other thing that I see implied, that I hope I'm correct, is every time I see Planning Commission will review, there's also going to be a chance for citizen input.
Yes.
Certainly in my neighborhood, there's a large concern about putting mixed use developments, not mixed use, but duplexes, whatever, in my neighborhood. So I want to make sure that that's something that there's plenty of time for us to discuss as a community before we act on this. Thank you.
Anyone else? Was there anything in particular, this agenda item you were looking for from the planning commission?
No, just comments, really. We were just looking for, the commission to review everything that I'm laying out. What I'm planning on doing is, and I will have a few more of these next month as well that we'll look at. But with feedback like you all gave me tonight, what I'm going to do then is create an abstract table that outlines specifically who has what goal and when it's supposed to be, taking place and stuff over the next, several years. So that will be then handed over to and then delivered along with these comments, your comments, and that abstract to RRC to show them that we're working on this and we've got the assignments handed out.
Mr. Chairman, I just had, this is Rosie, a quick question. When you say the next master plan update is within the next 5 years, correct? Isn't it every 5 years?
Yes, the Michigan Planning Act says that you do have to look at updates every 5 years. It usually, or I shouldn't say usually, it often doesn't happen. But yes, in yours was South Havens was adopted in 2018, so 2023 is the next scheduled update.
Okay, thank you.
So if you notice on all those pages, a lot of them have planning commission, planning commission will do this, that, and the other thing. So make sure you keep a copy of that one and keep looking at it. There's a lot of heavy lifting there. All right. So enough of item 7 for now. It's been reviewed.
We have Pat Gaston has joined the meeting here.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if she's here for public comment on this agenda item.
Pat, are you here to comment on item 7? I don't see you on mute, so I assume that.
Okay.
Okay, item 8. Which is a text amendment to section 601.
Item 8 is a return of the amendment that we approved last month on the 6th of August to amend section 601, part 16 and part 20. Part 16, if you remember, was the allowing one or more dwelling units located above a permitted use in the downtown as a use by right through removing the by special land use requirement. It will still have to meet with all the additional, regulations and restrictions. They would still all have to be met. However, it would just allow it by right, therefore not having to go through the special land use. Part 20 was the multiple family dwellings with one or more dwelling units located on the ground floor. We approved that it should be allowed by right. The city council rejected that one. They did not like that one. They would like that to remain as a special land use item only. They are, through our procedures here in South Haven, when a city council makes an amendment to an amendment, it has to be sent back to planning commission to be approved by a motion again, to approve their suggestion. and discuss, and then send it by motion back up to city council. So we're looking at this now for the third month in a row, but yes, so I don't know if you all have any more comments on that we would like to send on to city council. This was another RRC item that we were addressing. I did, just so you know, I did contact the RRC representative here for Southwest Michigan. It was based out of Kalamazoo. We were doing this obviously again for our RRC certification process. One of their suggestions was to follow the master plan goals of allowing residential options downtown or in the downtown to create the traditional downtown feel that was highlighted in the master plan. And I brought it up to her that we felt fine with one way of living downtown, but we're not so great at, allowing a by right with another way and keeping it as a special land use. And they did say that still meets satisfactorily with what they would require. It is basically progressing towards more options. So that is, it's not that we lose our chance for certification.
Brad, I'm looking at number 20 there. And in light of what the city council has said, can you tell me how you've changed the language there to reflect?
Yes. What it did initially, Mike, was it said multiple family dwellings with one or more dwelling units on the ground floor.
Right.
In considering such authorization, on the ground floor as a use by right. In consideration with such authorization, the Planning Commission shall ensure conformance with the following standards of Article 15, which is multiple family use standards. That are outlined specifically in the special use category, but I did not remove those because I felt that those were something important that should be maintained in there unless you all chose to remove that. What City Council felt was to keep or to replace the by right back with the original when authorized as a special land use.
So then, if I'm reading here, what's in 20?
That is the rewritten from what they have sent back to us.
But it looks like we're rejecting their idea.
No.
Okay, I'm not reading it correctly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What I've presented you with right now is actually the actual written out what City Council has approved. So word for word is everything that is there is what they have already approved or have suggested.
Yeah.
So if you make a motion to approve, you're approving what is as written.
Yeah, it's just me, but I don't see any change in that language than what we talked about before, because we did talk about no first floor on Center, Phoenix, or Broadway.
Yes. What we did is there was no first floor on Center, but it would be allowable in other areas of the downtown as by right. That's what the original proposal presented.
Yeah, I don't see anything here that says it's not allowed elsewhere downtown. I don't see that change.
It's not. I mean, it's always has been allowed downtown.
First floor residence.
Exactly. It always has been. It's
As a
just
special land use.
Exactly. You got it. As a special land use. So it has to
Or
come through Planning Commission.
So what does this language change anytime now we're going to have, are we reverting back to it is a special land use?
Yes.
And are we ignoring the by right in even the apartments above retail?
No. Part 16 has not changed.
First floor all
Yep.
first floor residents throughout Central Business District are still going to be special
Land use.
land
Yep.
use.
You got
Gotcha. Thank you.
You got it. Yep. The part 16 that addresses the above the shop or a restaurant or whatever.
I got it.
They agreed that is okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Yep. Nope. That's fine.
Mr. Chairman and Brad, quick question. So the city council did not, they weren't cool with, there were already exceptions in place, right? With the 3 streets. but they weren't cool with even the additional, like, whether it be Eagle Street or Huron or whatever in the DDA. So that's what they weren't good with. They weren't good with any of that.
Right. They didn't want it by right. They wanted it to be specially reviewed in front of the
Okay.
planning commission before it could be approved. But yes, as of now, it still can be approved. It just has to come through planning commission first to get a special use permit on
Okay.
any of the streets, not on the 3 that are
Right.
highlighted.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody want to make a motion? Well, before that, are there any public comments on this? It's
Pat
so
knows.
on mute. On mute now.
She may be just watching.
Could be. All right, seeing no public comments, entertain a motion. Do you have any language suggestion for them, for this one?
Yeah, I guess it would be a little complicated. Possibly make a motion to approve section 601, part 16 and part 20 as written.
16 and 20?
Yes, as written.
Okay,
Right.
does that help?
Yep, I make a motion that we accept the draft of the amendments to section 601.16 and 601.2 of the South Haven zoning ordinance as written, I guess.
Okay, very well. Is there support?
This is Rosalie's support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any further additional discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call.
Nice,
Yes?
Makati,
Yes.
Barney,
Yes.
Heinig,
Yes.
Heinrich,
Yes.
Stegman.
Yes. Okay, that one's done. Now we move on to commission member and staff comments. Brad, do you have any?
Well, thank you everyone for being patient tonight with the new system. We'll iron it out for next month. So I appreciate it.
Any big things coming up for
Nope.
next month?
No,
That you're aware of?
oh, we do have a special land use request that will be coming up next month. It's not as complicated as the last one, I feel. I think it's something that's a little more straightforward. So,
Okay,
and it's in the central business district.
excellent. Okay. I'm gonna go left to right on my screen. Mike?
No comments, just thanks again to staff and Brad for helping us understand these issues.
Larry?
I have no comments.
Okay. Rosalie?
I mentioned this before the meeting. I do want to apologize to the planning commission and commissioners for my comment about having police on the beach as a waste of time and money. I think in my passion of talking about enforcement, it kind of came out wrong. I do want to say I did apologize to the city. I called in their meeting and I did apologize to the chief. In no way do I not support the police and everything they do. So again, I hope you accept my apology for perhaps saying something that was inappropriate. And then that's not what I meant. And I'll try to be less passionate when I talk about things.
Hey, Janice?
No comment.
Todd?
Yes. obviously, I appreciate your working with me to get logged on today. I had some trouble with the technology. On a related matter, I'm really looking forward to getting back in chambers. I find this, I've got one screen in front of me that's not working well, and trying to, I mean, there were times that I probably would have commented more tonight, which you might be glad that I'm not commenting, but I hope we can get back into chambers in the near future. Thanks to Tim and everybody that helped me get on tonight.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be nice when we are back in here full time. My comment is myself and Mike are part of the Overton Property Committee, and we had our first meeting where we reviewed the proposals, and our next step is to interview the developers. Now, I think I made it clear at the meeting, and Mike, I mean, you can probably chime in here too at some point, but the point I've made to the rest of the committee members was that it was our hope that any of the designs that came out were compatible with current ordinances. Now, the reason that was said is because when you're talking, there's a big emphasis on a lot of the committee members for affordable housing, and with that will come density. And when you start talking density, you start losing setbacks, and maybe even start talking about height variances. So the reason I'm mentioning this now is because when we go to interview the developers, these plans will probably end up being a little more detailed than what we've seen to date. So what myself, and I imagine Mike would like to know, is how bendable is the planning commission when they start talking about affordable housing, and inevitably maybe the developer says, well, the only way I can get to that number is you got to allow me to really put some more units in here or go up another story. So I'll give you a little free comment period here before we do close up, in case you have some thoughts. If you're saying no, we got to stick with what we have, or yeah, maybe depending on what the development is, there's a little leeway there. And that would help myself and Mike when we're having these conversations with the other committee members, and help guide the process. So anything else you'd like to add to that, Mike?
Yeah, Tim did us proud. The other message that was sent by way of his message was back to the developers of the proposals. It was clear that some were already thinking about some variances, most notably parking always comes up, and whatever, and they were included in the proposals already. So Tim fired a nice shot across the bow saying we're not saying we're not willing to listen to those things, but please recognize that those things will have to be considered by the Planning Commission. And if we can be at all preventive by offering our ideas now as we're interviewing these folks, to Tim's point, that'd be very helpful. I don't know, Tim, how you'd like them to get the feedback back to us, but we have our next meeting on the 10th, which is when we have all three developers in front of us. And I imagine that's going to be a pretty long meeting.
Yeah, I would think so. But we've got Larry, Rosalie, Janice, and Todd here. You've heard what we both said, and if you just take 10, 15 seconds and say, yeah, go ahead if it's something that looks reasonable, or no, we're pretty hardcore, let's stick with the ordinances. So, Todd?
Yes, I sat in on almost all the meeting, and it was a good meeting. Tim knows his stuff, and I'm glad you and you both are there. I was thinking when they were talking about this is going to be more than 15 seconds. The condo lofts, central lofts, how they've struggled to sell those and over the years. And a lot of it has to do with parking. When the phase 2 went up, it had parking, designated parking. and it's mostly year round and they sold immediately. The ones where they haven't, they've tended to be second homers, and it's not scientific at all. It just seems to me that we should, if we're expecting people to buy these quickly and to live there year round, if that's our target market, is to have folks stay there year round, we probably really ought to talk seriously about, I don't know if we can require it, but have parking or covered parking. Living anywhere along the lakeshore in the winter, it's almost considered a necessity now, for a lot of folks.
Well, Todd, let me just interject here. I hear what you're saying with the design part of it, but what I'm asking tonight is how much flexibility is this planning commission willing to look at for variances?
Yeah, you mentioned density, and yes, I would be flexible. Again, I'd be flexible to look at density, heights, or things. I know there was one adjacent neighbor that was concerned about having it too high. Obviously, it's going to be site specific, what those sorts of variances.
Okay.
That's my comment.
All right, thank you. Larry, Janice, Rosalie.
Yeah,
Larry?
if we always do what we've always done,
Always
we're
good.
going to continue to have what we have right now.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Rosalie, Janice?
This is Rosalie. Yeah, I'm flexible. I found it a little bit ironic that just tonight we were looking at, the master plan and how we want to keep to our heights. And now we're now we're taking a look at being flexible, but I would definitely be flexible. I think we're going to have to.
Okay. Janice?
Yes, I think some flexibility within reason. I know in the past we've seen ideas floating around for like 6 stories, 9 stories, and I think that's unreasonable. So I'm very cautious about height and character of the neighborhoods around it.
Okay. Well, I think that gives me enough information, Mike, you two, and when we're reviewing these plans with the developers, that'll give us a little idea of where we could, or maybe not, but maybe where we could go. So that's what I needed. Anything else before we adjourn? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
This is Rosalie. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I think support.
Larry made the second. Any other discussion? We'll do one last roll call for the meeting for adjournment.
Heinrich,
Yes.
Neese,
Yes.
Placati,
Yes.
Barney,
Yes.
Heine,
Yes.
Stegman.
Yes. Okay, thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next month, if not before.